Players that I would back up. Number one, I'll back up Deshaun Watson. It goes without saying, me and Deshaun Watson's relationship, he was on my 707 All-Star team. I've grown to admire the person, the athlete that he is, going through a lot of turmoil, but I believe that's behind him, and I know I can provide services for him on the field as well as off the field. My number two person would be wherever Lamar Jackson decides to go. Number three will be Justin Fields, another C1N product. Number four will be Tua Tagovailoa. Number five will be Malik Willis, another C1N All-Star representative. Any of these rookie quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson, any one of those guys, I would be happy to back those guys up. Who we got? Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 8 would be Aaron Rodgers. Number 9 would be Josh Allen. And number 10 would be Sam Howell, another C1N alumni.
I love it. I love it. You know, I said to Natalie and Charles out there, like Cam just entertains me. Like I used to just really go in and parse, like, what did he say or why did he say that? Now I'm just here. I'm here for the entertainment. Charles McDonald, I don't know about you. All the people he says he would back up, I think his list is too short. Maybe the list of people he would want to back up. Yeah. People he needs to. The people he would have to back up. Listen, next page. Charles, what do you think of this Cam Newton production?
Well, I guess it's just mostly a shout to the black quarterbacks in the league, and then Tua and Aaron and Josh and Sam Howell. I gotta say, if I was Cam Newton, and I know that, you know, he's had a pretty unceremonious end to, you know, the past few years of his career, I'm still shooting higher than being a backup to Sam Howell or Malik Willis. Malik Willis ain't even going to be the starter for his own team. Like, we've seen the Titans have entered the discussions of trading up to number 3 overall to pick a quarterback. So, Cam, you can think a little bit higher of yourself than backing up those guys, but I can't believe that Cam has gotten to this point where he's just saying, like, I will come be a backup when, I don't know, like coming from the heights that he had in his career. I think I would just rather retire.
You know what, Natalie? I think Natalie and Charles, I just think he really misses playing football. I think that's really what it comes down to, and that's why he's saying this, just to get the conversation going. Natalie, I don't know if you remember when Cam was cut from the Patriots and he did a sit down with his father. Now we want to talk about entertainment, high entertainment. He's going back and forth, and he tells his father, he said, you know, it's too bad the Patriots did this to me because I would have backed up Mac Jones. And his father was like, Cam. You know you lying. He's like, okay. Maybe I would do it. Cam Newton, Natalie, is nobody's backup, is he?
I mean, no, but maybe in this NFL he is, right? I mean, I agree that he should still be on an NFL team. You know, come on, he can back someone up at a minimum. Like there are guys who are backups who no team wants to put out there. So I agree with him. I also, I guess, can understand maybe the hesitance, but I think he should be playing in the NFL. So I understand him wanting to do this. I also agree with Charles that I still would be pushing myself as like someone who can play and start for a franchise. So I don't know what's going to happen with Cam. The biggest issue I had with him was saying I admire Deshaun Watson. Like, I don't want to hear all of that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, you could have just been like Deshaun Watson. I mean, I would have left him off the list, but all the I admire him and he's going through struggles and trying to gloss over it. Like, nah, I'm not trying to hear all of that. Like, at that point, I didn't even want to hear anything else you had to say.
Yeah, okay. And why is he going through struggles, Cam? Why is Deshaun Watson going through struggles? It's just like the external forces have all, colluded against Deshaun Watson, and now these things are happening to him. Now, Cam is a quarterback without a team. let's talk about a team that officially doesn't have a quarterback. That would be the Baltimore Ravens. Let's hear some interesting exchanges between the Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta, members of the media, and even PR staff thrown in there. Let's check this out.
I understand the need to ask those kind of questions. I think just out of respect for the process, this is a draft luncheon, and we're going to try to keep as much of this discussion as we can to the draft, to the coming weeks, building the best football team we can build. So I understand those questions. I think we've spoken about this situation probably 5 different times this spring in various different press conferences and such. So we're going to try to just kind of defer to those questions and move forward to the draft.
With respect to this being about the draft and everything, just with the Lamar stuff that's going on.
Hey guys,
are you all looking at quarterbacks
Alex,
differently?
if you can, this is about the draft. Just move off the
Hey, listen. Don't try to shut me down. Charles, right? Charles,
Right.
you ever been in those situations? You're just trying to do your job, and here comes I guess, in all fairness, you're trying to do your job as an NFL reporter and PR representative representing the team, trying to do their job, and hence you have the tension. What did you make of that yesterday, Charles?
I thought the reporter was asking a fair question, because if you are going to be a team that trades away, let me repeat, trades away Lamar Jackson in his prime, you need to have an answer for that. You can't just walk into the unknown and say, well, we don't have Lamar, whatever, we'll figure it out. No, the draft is in 3 weeks. This is a strong quarterback class at the top. It's absolutely a relevant question for where the Ravens might find themselves up, or might end up winding up in a few weeks. And just because they don't want to answer a question about Lamar Jackson, well, are you going to go back into this division that has Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, who looked, fairly promising as a rookie, and Joe freaking Burrow, and just say, don't have a quarterback, but we'll figure it out in a couple of years? You're going to fall behind so fast that if you do lose Lamar, you have to address that in a big way this year, which is why it is a relevant and fair question for the reporter to ask.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, first of all, I just love the look on the faces. And they just seem so on edge and tense about it. So I'm like, yeah, this Lamar thing is starting to get to them. So I love that, because I want Lamar to win in this situation. But I'm curious, Charles, I mean, do you think they could really trade him? And if they do, not so much where Lamar might go, but what quarterback do you think they might be focusing on? I know they said it depends on their board, but who would they select?
Well, I think it all depends on how high they can get in the draft, right? Because the way that the board is stacking out, we might see 4 quarterbacks go within the first 4 picks. Because obviously Carolina, you don't trade up to number 1 if you're not going to take one. Houston needs 1 at 2. And then at 4, Jim Irsay signaled back in January that the Colts' new head coach will be working with the rookie quarterback. So that's three of the first 4 picks. And if you don't want to lose out on one of these top guys, you might have to trade all the way up to 3 with Arizona. Or what you could do is kind of skip the line and just trade number 4 to Indianapolis outright, give him Lamar Jackson, and then you're in a spot where maybe you can take Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. But as we talk about this, isn't this a tough pill to swallow? We're going to trade away Lamar Jackson, who is only 26 years old and has a unanimous MVP under his belt, and start over with the rookie? Just pay the guy. Come on. You know how bad that offense got the second that he stepped away. I think it's just kind of crazy that we've even gotten to this point.
It is.
Yeah. I listen to Pro Football Talk every morning. Every morning I listen to Mike Florio, Chris Sims. So this morning I heard Sims talking about the limited market for Lamar Jackson and how he understands the market. Now, I'll take full disclosure. Sometimes when I'm listening, I'll just text my brother Sims. I'll be like, I can't believe you just said that, man. I can't believe you said that. Hey, I'm waiting for him to say, look, you do your own damn show later. Leave me alone. You do your damn show when you do your show. But he said there's a limited market for Lamar Jackson, which he understood. I said, no, I'm thinking, I didn't text him this today. I don't understand it. Because as you just said, Charles, there may be 4 quarterbacks going in the first 4 picks. Maybe at the very least, to be conservative, 3 quarterbacks in the first 4 picks could realistically go. And a couple of years ago, we had 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 15. So my evidence tells me that this is a league that's desperate for somebody who can sling it, somebody who can play quarterback. Everybody's desperate. Most teams are. And there's no market for a guy who's 26 years old, going to be 27 in January, and has done some incredible things in his young career. There should be a market for Lamar Jackson. I'm wondering if you think New England, is New England that market? Because we heard some rumblings that Mac Jones and Bill Belichick aren't getting along. Maybe you flip Mac Jones to Baltimore, throw a pick at him or two, get Lamar Jackson in New England. You see that happening?
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Patriots, right? Because what's crazy about this scenario is we almost never, ever see a quarterback of this caliber kind of be on the open market, you know, to a degree. I mean, we had Deshaun Watson getting traded last year, but that was way different than what we're dealing with right now. So, you know, I think the Patriots make sense, but if you're the Ravens, and we've seen that, you know, the Ravens and the Patriots, they have somewhat of a little bit of a rivalry here where they've had to go through each other to kind of reach the top of the AFC over the past decade or so. We've already seen Lamar play the Patriots a handful of times. He played pretty well against them. Do you really want to hand that to Bill Belichick? And if you're the Patriots, you got to think this isn't going to be a normal situation where we're just trading for a guy who's on the tag and it's only going to be 2 first-round picks. What we're going to do is we're going to sign him to a contract. The Ravens are going to match, and then we'll work out a trade from there, because once you work out the trade from there, you can tack on more first-round picks. The Ravens, they can't trade away Lamar Jackson for 2 first-round picks. It's going to be 3+. If you're going to trade him within the conference versus a team that you play a lot, I think that price might be a little bit steep for the Patriots, but it is a good fit for them.
Charles, I don't know where you land on this, because everyone's been throwing the C word around, collusion. But I just don't understand. Like, are the Ravens, and I guess it's really up to the ownership, probably not like anyone but them, but are they really willing to like part ways with a talent, a generational talent like Lamar, just to stand firm on this position with the other owners about guaranteed contracts?
Yeah, I would say that they are. These are NFL owners that we're talking about, man. Okay, we go back to the uncapped year that they had in like 2011 or something, or 2010, where they were dealing with a CBA negotiation, and there was no cap. Like, when you're playing Madden and you would turn the salary cap off, you can spend as much money as you can. And Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder, they did that for that season. They spent as much money as they could because there was no cap on how much money they could spend. And the other owners actually punished them for it, for spending money on their football teams. And the year later, they each got hit with $10 million fines. So the owners, they will absolutely band together to at least protect the bottom line of, like, we need to have the financial upper hand at all times in these negotiations when it comes down to it. Because not only is, if Lamar Jackson gets this deal and he can get close to fully guaranteed money, we got Jalen Hurts coming down the pipeline, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. Why wouldn't those guys ask for the same exact thing? As they should, by the way. I believe that all these guys should, because once you open the floodgates on that with the Deshaun Watson deal last year, why the hell would I not ask for that? I didn't do that stuff, and my play is on a comparable level. So I think the ask is fair, and I think the owners are also going to stand firm on, no, we're not doing this. That was a blip on the radar, and you guys are going to get back to like 50% at best.
All right, Charles, before we get you out of here, let's see, what's today? April 6th. And so you have a mock draft 6.0. I don't know if how many you're going to get up to. You got 10 in you? You got 12 in you? I don't know how many versions you have coming up. But in this draft, you've got C.J. Stroud going first, and you got Anthony Richardson, thankfully, going number 6. I'm gonna tell you why that's good, because I have a bet with Connor Rogers that he's gonna go in the top 5. I said no. I said he's not going in the top 5. So you had him at 6. So I hope you're right, and Connor is wrong. I I don't know what we're betting on, but it's gonna be something.
I'm about to say,
I'll
what's the
make it up.
terms?
Like you said with the Ravens, they just tack on things. It's supposed to be 2 first-round picks. We'll just tack on some more stuff after I win the bet. So tell me a surprise or two, or like a nugget in your top 10 that just kind of stands out to you as a little bit of a twist.
Here's something that I project that will happen that I don't think will happen. Will Anderson going 3 to the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals are going to pick number 3 overall, just for the reasons that we talked about earlier in terms of a trade happening at the top of the draft. And if you look at the Cardinals roster, they are kind of in a situation where they just need bodies and they need talented players. They've had a pretty quiet free agency period, and they lost some guys that really mattered to their roster in free agency. So, I don't really predict trades in the mock draft because, man, it's just not a good use of my time. But I would be surprised if the Cardinals stand firm at number 3 and take a player there, because they're going to have a lot of trade offers to get into that 3rd spot and jump Indianapolis for a quarterback. We've already heard Tennessee is a team that can do it. And there's always surprise teams that can jump up there as well.
Hey, Charles, one thing to say really quick. I read through your full draft for the first round, and I have an issue with you not having Hendon Hooker going at all in the first round. So I just wanted to call you out for that. But
we can talk about that on another show.
Yes.
I'm not a big Hendon Hooker guy. I hope he gets his money as a fellow black person, but that's not the quarterback that I'll be drafting.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that's a different conversation already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have started off there. I didn't know you had such strong anti Hendon Hooker feelings. Hendon Hooker is cool with me. Why? Remember this, Natalie, at the Super Bowl? My man came up. He was presenting gifts, and I think I forgot it there. He was in Arizona. He had some beans. He put out baked beans.
Yes.
Baked beans. Come on. Yeah, baked beans.
Okay, that might put him in the first round for me.
I think he's going to go in the first round, Charles. But I'm going to let you get by with that for today, since we got to.
Yeah, we can talk about it next time.
Yeah.
All right, next time. Appreciate you, Charles. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll see how many versions of that draft you come up with, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, hopefully not 12. If 12, something's gone really wrong. But I'll talk to you guys next time.
All righty. Take care,
But
Charles.
listen, people might call you up. They might give you some scoops. You
Yeah,
might have
we'll
to
see.
change it up. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.